Have you ever stopped to think about what would happen if your bank simply ceased to exist tomorrow? And what if, suddenly, the app didn't open, the customer service vanished, and your money evaporated? Sound like an exaggeration? Then explain why more and more billionaires are pulling their money out of traditional banks and betting on fintechs, crypto assets, and new ways to store value. The game is changing, and those who keep playing by the old rules are going to lose badly. If you feel like the financial system is quietly collapsing and don't want to be just another panic face in the crowd, this video is for you. Today, you're going to learn how to break free from the dependence on traditional banks and dive headfirst into the future of money in a simple, secure way and ahead of most people. So stay until the end, because whoever learns this first will profit when everyone else starts to panic. And if you enjoy this kind of provocative and straightforward content, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss what's coming next. Let's do this. Imagine waking up tomorrow and finding out that your bank has frozen your account, that the app won't load, and support has disappeared. Sound like an exaggeration? It's already happened, and not in failed states. The truth is that traditional banks are growing weaker by the day, pressured by internal debt, bureaucracy, and a rising wave of distrust from a generation that demands speed, transparency, and financial freedom. With every scandal or abusive fee, more people are asking, do I really need a bank? If you ever thought about that too, drop a comment below. And hey, if this topic is making you reflect, smash that like button right now. It really helps the channel grow. What a lot of people still don't realize is that the collapse won't happen overnight. It's already begun. It's a silent collapse. While branches shut down, apps crash, and fees climb, a quiet revolution is happening right now in the hands of those who figure out the game. Fintechs are taking over because they deliver what banks promised and never delivered. Speed, control in the palm of your hand, lower fees, and most importantly, freedom. You no longer need a physical branch, a manager treating you like a number, or to wait in line for something your phone can solve in seconds. Hit that subscribe button if you want to be part of this new era of money. But hold on, this isn't just about swapping banks for an app. It's about understanding what's really at stake. When you use a fintech, you're connecting to a new kind of economy, faster, more adaptable, and with a mindset focused on the future. Those already using digital wallets, crypto platforms, automated investments, and decentralized systems are living years ahead. And if all this still feels a bit distant to you, stick around. I'm going to show you real examples of how this change is already happening and how you can prepare before it's too late. Take this moment and share this video with that one friend who still believes big banks are safer. Now, if you're wondering, but are fintechs actually safe? That's a fair question. And the answer depends on two things: education and choice. Not every fintech is trustworthy, just like not every bank is safe. But unlike banks, which often hide their flaws behind decades of tradition, fintechs compete for trust. They know one mistake, and the customer switches apps in 2 clicks. That's why the best ones invest heavily in security, user experience, and innovation. Those who understand this begin to see the financial system as a marketplace of choices, not a prison. And if you're enjoying this content, hit that like button, because there's more truth coming your way. Let's talk about something people rarely mention: the hidden cost of staying in a traditional bank. You know that monthly fee you pay? That's just the tip of the iceberg. The real cost is in the time you waste, the missed opportunities, the abusive interest rates, and a lack of control over your own money. Fintechs are offering solutions with cashback, automated investments, integrated cryptocurrencies, AI-powered interfaces, and even credit without the bureaucracy. All of that in your pocket in real time. And while you're stuck in a bank queue, there are people gaining more autonomy and better financial results with just 3 taps on a screen. Have you subscribed to the channel yet? If not, you're missing the next step in this revolution. And look, this revolution isn't just technical, it's cultural too. Young people are redefining what it means to own your money. They don't just want to save, they want to invest. They don't just want to pay, they want to earn rewards. And most importantly, they want autonomy. This goes far beyond opening a digital account. It's about living in a more fluid economy where you have access to global tools, where money works for you, and where your past doesn't define you. your financial intelligence does. And since we're talking about the future, we can't ignore the impact of cryptocurrencies on this entire scenario. Bitcoin, Ethereum, and even decentralized finance, DeFi, projects are taking power out of the hands of a few and distributing it to everyday people. This obviously scares the traditional system, but it also empowers those who study and take action before the crowd. If you understand what a smart contract is, how a wallet works, or how to earn passive income through staking, you're already playing a different game. And if you don't yet, relax. We'll go deeper in the next videos, which is just another reason to subscribe now and hit the bell, because the future is knocking. For a long time, they sold us the idea that banks are synonymous with safety. Your money is protected. The institution is solid. We've been around for 100 years. These phrases were repeated so often that they became truth in the minds of those who never questioned them. But the reality is different. Banking stability is theater. When confidence disappears, the curtain falls. The collapse of Silicon Valley Bank, for example, happened in under 48 hours. And that was in a country that calls itself the leader of the global economy. So here's the real question. If traditional banks can fall like that, what's keeping the others standing? The answer is simple: narrative. And when the narrative collapses, the system follows. It's not a matter of if, but when. The real risk isn't in new fintechs. It's in the old illusion that big names are bulletproof. Fintechs are not playing the same game as banks. While banks spend fortunes on marketing to appear innovative, fintechs focus on the real user experience. They don't try to imitate modern banks. They build an entirely new ecosystem from scratch, without the baggage of the past. The result? Solutions that work, are fast, intuitive, and hassle-free. Anyone who's used them knows. You open a digital account in 2 minutes, do everything through the app, and get cash back instead of fees. Simple, practical, straightforward. While banks make you wait 3 days for a wire transfer, fintechs send instant payments in seconds. The secret isn't about being modern, it's about being functional. And in that regard, banks are already behind. The digital revolution doesn't need noise. It wins through daily use. If having a bank account used to be a status symbol, today it's almost a setback. The new generation doesn't want a bank manager, a physical branch, or printed statements. They want autonomy, control, and speed. They want to decide how, where, and when to move their own money. The relationship with the financial system has changed because the profile of the user has changed. Today's young people don't accept paying fees just to leave their money sitting idle. They'd rather use an app that solves everything in seconds than a traditional bank filled with old-school procedures. And here's the thing. This generation isn't anti-bank, they're pro-freedom. It's not about rejecting the system. It's about building a new one, where the client is the center, not just a number. And those who don't get this will keep talking to a generation that's already turned off the sound. In the past, to access investments, foreign exchange, or fair credit, you had to sit down with someone in an air-conditioned office, wearing a suit and tie. Today, you do everything with 3 taps on your phone. Money is coming down from the top of the pyramid straight into the pocket of anyone with internet access. That changes everything. It changes who decides, who accesses, and who profits. You no longer need bank approval, business hours, or a so-called investor profile. Now, with the right tools, you can build your financial life the same way you create a playlist. Your way, your rhythm. The old system imposed rules. The new one delivers possibilities. And those who understand to stop waiting for permission and start making decisions. Some people still believe that banks are just neutral intermediaries between you and your money. But the truth is, banks are filters. They decide what you can do, when, with whom, and under what conditions. Want to transfer a large amount? You'll need to justify it. Want to move your money outside of business hours? It might get blocked. Want to spend your own money abroad? Be ready for extra fees or a block card. The freedom you think you have is limited by their internal rules. In the new system with fintech, stablecoins, and wallets, you have more control. Not total control, but more. Because now, the power to decide is starting to come back to your hands. And the more you understand that, the harder it becomes to accept being controlled by an institution that profits from limiting your options. If you think the bank is doing you a favor by holding your money, think again. Your balance sitting there isn't just sitting. It's being used to make the money. They lend it, invest it, and leverage it. And what do you get in return? Ridiculous interest or nothing at all. Meanwhile, you pay fees, taxes, and are judged by your credit score. It's like lending your car for someone to drive Uber and still paying for the gas. With fintechs, the game changes. Some give back part of their revenue through cashback, others cut costs to the minimum, and some reward users with real benefits. The profit is more evenly shared. And most importantly, you start to see the system for what it really is, a game where you've always been playing for the wrong team. But now, you have a chance to switch sides. In recent years, banks have tried to look younger, more digital, more cool. They changed logos, launched apps, and created virtual assistants. But behind the sleek interface, the system is still the same. It's like putting LED lights on an old car. It may look modern, but it's still slow, heavy, and expensive. They copy the look, but can't replicate the culture, because fintechs are born digital. They're built by developers, designed for mobile, and shaped around user experience. Banks, on the other hand, still carry processes inherited from decades ago. That's why, even when they try to imitate, the result is bureaucratic, clunky, and frustrating. The problem isn't technology, it's mindset. And mindset doesn't update with a rebranding campaign. Anyone who still thinks cryptocurrency is only for speculators is already behind. Bitcoin and Ethereum, for example, aren't just currencies. They are platforms that support a whole new infrastructure. With them, you can transfer value directly between people. No bank, no borders, no outrageous fees. You can use smart contracts to rent, sell, lend, and even build businesses. Stable coins let you store value in dollars without depending on any bank. And DeFi systems create ways to earn passive income 24/7 without a manager. This isn't utopia. It's already working. What's missing isn't the technology, it's awareness. Those who see this as a tool, not a gamble, have already unlocked the next chapter of global finance. The growth of fintechs and crypto assets has triggered a red alert among central banks and governments. And it makes sense. If more people start transacting, investing, and storing value outside of traditional banks, power gets redistributed, and the old system loses its grip. That's why we're seeing a race toward regulation. Not always clear, not always fair. To the average person, this might look confusing, but ignoring the shift is even more dangerous. The key is to get informed, to know what's legal, what's in gray area, and what could change at any moment. Freedom demands responsibility. And in this new scenario, those who control the information avoid surprises. Because if you don't understand the rules, it's only a matter of time before you get locked out of the game. In the end, the whole discussion comes down to a choice. Do you want to keep handing over your money to an institution that profits from your ignorance? Or would you rather take control of your own financial life? It's not about rebelling against banks. It's about using the right tools, understand the game, and playing it smart. Autonomy doesn't mean doing everything alone. It means knowing that the decisions start with you. Fintechs, crypto, apps, these are just tools. But the goal is one, to take back control. If you made it this far, you've already taken the first step. Now the question is, will you keep watching from the sidelines, or are you ready to step into the game? And if you think all of this is just a passing trend, remember this. Every revolution looks small in the beginning. The first people who used Uber were called crazy for getting into a stranger's car. The first ones on Airbnb were seen as reckless for sleeping in someone else's home. And today, it's the new normal. With fintechs and digital money, it'll be the same story. The only difference is, those who understand it early reap the biggest rewards. If this video is opening your mind, drop a comment saying, "I'm in the game," and hit that like button, because it shows you're not just another viewer, you're ready. To close it out, here's the big question. Is this the end of traditional banks? Maybe not overnight, but it's clear that the system is crumbling from the inside, and fintechs are building a new foundation. Those who move early dominate the new landscape. Those who ignore it become prisoners of the old one. The future of money is digital, decentralized, and in the hands of those who know how to use the right tools. So, have you already chosen your side? If not, subscribe now, because in the upcoming videos, I'll show you how to build your own personal financial ecosystem using the best of fintechs, cryptos, and the new digital economy. And remember, it's not just about protecting yourself. It's about getting ahead